It's a golden chance for St Helens Martin Murray. Boasting a perfect 23-fight record, does he have what it takes to defy the odds and become champion of the world?
Accurate, impressive, down he goes! And Martin Murray now will get the job done. Just steady, sustained, hard pressure. An emphatic display from Martin Murray.
I love the people who say you can't do it. They just give me that drive more, just to prove them wrong. And I really do believe I can go over there and beat him.
Standing in his way, long-reigning WBA king Felix Sturm. This his 17th world title fight. He's a hot favourite, but there's hope for Murray. Fellow Brite Matthew Macklin pushed Sturm all the way in June. Is he there for the taking?
Big attack from Macklin. It's getting the crowd on their feet. The judges have leaned towards the German champion. Felix Sturm is still WBA middleweight champion of the world.
It's a huge leap up in class for Martin Murray. Can he produce the performance of a lifetime to shock Sturm and the boxing universe? We're about to find out. The action live from the German city of Mannheim. Hi there, what a cracking way to kick off a fabulous fight month of December. This, the first of 4 world title fights coming your way on Sky Sports. Alongside me, Johnny Nelson, who had a hat-trick of victories on German soil, and dazzling Darren Barker, who's fresh from his own brave challenge with the best at middleweight. We'll hear from the boys in just a couple of moments, but let's head straight over to southwest Germany. Our Big Fight commentary team, Jamie Moore, Jim Watt and Adam Smith.
Unbeaten Martin Murray, who's a long way from home and of course lacks the experience for what is a big job here in Germany, against him a proven world-class technician in Felix Sturm.
Yeah, it's a huge task he has. I mean, when you're facing a man who's more experienced than you are and who has boxed at a far higher level, tactics are important, but I think temperament and attitude are also very important, and I think Martin is very strong in those departments. I don't think he can outbox or outsmart Felix Sturm, but he can out-tough him, and I think that's what he's going to do. He's got to take the fight to him and be prepared to stay in the exchange that little bit longer than Sturm does.
Joining Jim and I, our colleague Jamie Moore, who sparred with both Sturm and with Martin Murray. You're close to Murray, formerly of his camp. You've been out here all week. Will he handle the occasion?
He seems so. You know, he's been nice and relaxed all week. You know, he's really positive, very confident. I mean, he was down here earlier on. He checks out the ring. He checks out the atmosphere of the place.
This morning, wasn't it? Yeah.
This morning, yeah, in the morning of the fight. So he's confident. He looks well. He looked in great condition on the scales. But so did Sturm. Sturm looked fantastic, and a fit and focused Sturm. He's one of the best middleweights in the world, so he's up against it, but it's not an impossible task. Not an impossible task, as Sturm could be on the slide, but it's a very hard ask if he's going to become our first world middleweight champion for almost 20 years.
Yeah, Chris Pye, the name of the last man to hold the title. What do you think? Step too far, too soon for Murray?
It's a very big step. But, you know, when are you ever ready? You know, he's young, he's enthusiastic, and, you know, he seems as if he loves the sport. So, you know, he feels he's ready, and you know, fair play for him to going out there and giving it a go.
I mean, it's an opportunity he just had to take, isn't it?
Got to take it. Out of 19 British and Irish fighters that have gone out to Germany and boxed for world titles, only 7 have come back victorious. So it's a tall order for him. But, yes, he's got to take the opportunity. A chance has arisen. He's 29 years old, 23 fights, unbeaten. He's going in there with confidence, the confidence of an unbeaten man. So, yeah, he'll be very professional about how he goes about it.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't too many miles on the clock, are there? That's one thing in his favour.
And he'll probably draw a lot of confidence from watching Macklin, how well he performed against Sturm. And, you know, he can go out there and try and emulate what he'd done himself there.
In great condition.
Martin knows he's the underdog, and he'll have done everything correctly here, to the point of counting the amount of punches Sturm throws per round. But you look at this man now, he looks in a lot better shape than he did when he boxed Macklin. So therefore, he got the Gypsies won. He knew he underestimated.
What about this, the mind games? Murray not looking in his eyes and
he's not playing. I get that. He doesn't want to get dragged into it. You know, it's Brendan call it. You know, it's a bit of kidology. You don't get dragged into it, then switch on him when it comes fight time.
But I think with Sturm, you know, he's been there, he's done it, and he's probably seen all that before. So he probably was expecting them sort of mind games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, three 3 spells as a world champion, I should say. He's got the experience. He's a class operator.
Yeah, and to be honest, he's been where Martin's been as well. He went out to America when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, and he was so unlucky there. You know, a lot of people, thought, including myself, thought he could have nicked that fight. And so, you know, the experience there is, you know, is vast.
Also, the timing could be perfect, given that Macklin pushed him close, almost beat him.
I think Sturm underestimated him. Macklin came out there, shocked everybody with how he put the pressure on him from the off. And Sturm, he realised then, I cannot take this position I'm in as world champion for granted because I nearly lost my title there. So therefore, this time, he's going to come back and he's going to show, you know what, this is what a world champion is. This is what I can do. And so I think this is going to be a hard fight for Martin Murray.
What about the styles? I mean, Macklin was very aggressive on that occasion.
You see, watching these clips here, the key and the shots that landed most were the body shots. So I think, you know, Martin throws a good body shot himself, so they could be key. And I think head movement as well, you know, Matthew, we're all aware of how he boxes. You know, he's a very tough, come-forward fighter, takes a lot in the gloves himself. But I think key is to move your head and not be there to be, you know, caught.
I've been out in Germany a lot when they prepare for fights, and what they do is they put their hands up, let you punch yourself out on the forearms, take the shots because they'll condition themselves to take the shots, let you wear yourself down, then start working with a typical straight jab, right cross, working straight lines. Martin Murray needs to make sure he picks and punches and steals the round, highlights the rounds.
It's a huge step up there. Nick Blackwell is the performance that won him this title shot. What did he like? I mean, you were there for that.
To be honest, he won the fight. You know, you can only beat who's in front of you. Nick Blackwell, you know, take my hat off to him. He got in there against, you know, I suppose he was the equivalent of Mike Murray, you know, against Sturm. But, you know, he just, you know, took him apart. And, if anything, he used his experience, which, you know, could be the difference tonight with Sturm. But, you know, it was a job done.
You look at Martin Murray's record. He's boxed in St Helens, Wigan, Manchester, Sheffield. Yeah. This is a completely different world to him. The one thing about Murray is he lives the life. I can remember seeing him at a function around Christmas time when most fighters, they put a bit of poundage on and let it go. This guy looked in tip-top shape, and this is what he wants to do. And that's why he'll domestically, he'll deal with a lot of domestic fighters with ease.
Yeah. What I like about him as well, you know, the saying, people are saying, you know, he's got a passport and he's not afraid to use it. And you know, take my hat off to him. You know, he's gone out there. He's gone out to a place where, you know, if I'm allowed to say it, you know, Germany, there's been a lot of controversy out there, you know, with people not getting decisions and that. But, you know, it's not fazed him. He still wants to go out there and he's, you know, he believes he can do it.
Is he a little bit mechanical?
Yes, he is. Unpredictable.
And one-paced as well.
Yeah, and Sturm, you don't write this guy off. He'll have done his homework on Murray, and he'll probably try and stop him mid to late rounds.
Can he do it, Murray?
I think he'll come out of this fight with his head held high. You know, he'll give it his best, I'm sure. But it may just come a bit soon against, you know, a very good fighter.
2nd Battalion of the Duke of Lancaster's regiment, drumming Murray to the ring. Thanks very much, guys. We'll hear more from you in a little while. Good luck. Britain holds its breath. Can Murray pull off the upset? Our big fight commentary team, Jamie Moore, Jim Watt, but first in Germany, Adam Smith.
Martin Murray, a friend of the soldiers, dedicated to raising awareness for the Army Benevolent Fund. Murray must now raise considerably in levels as he aims to prize away the world middleweight title out here in southwest Germany in an unlikely, unexpected and possibly untimely challenge. A boxing battle and a battleground that he has never experienced, but there's 300 fans who have made the trip over, and they're making a lot of noise behind us, Jim. They believe, Murray believes.
Yep, in a perfect world, OK, Martin would have had a few more fights at a higher level, but you have to take a chance like this when it comes along out of the blue. Someone is going to be in the right place at the right time to take the title from Felix Sturm, because the man has done a long, hard career, a lot of championship fights, and you can't be the man if you don't take the chance. Well, Martin Murray has taken the chance. Best of luck to him.
And Jamie, he's been relaxed all week, hasn't he?
He certainly has. You know, I mean, he's got his game face on now. This is the first time I've seen him switch on. You know, they were talking about gamesmanship at the weigh-in. and I definitely think it was that. You know, Martin didn't want to get involved, but I think he wants to shock him now. And when Felix Sturm turns up in the ring now, I think he's going to know that he's in for a fight.
Felix Sturm, who made Matthew Macklin in the summer wait in the ring. He's a cult hero here in Germany. The big entrance will come momentarily. And there are the St. Helens faithful who have been over here for a few days, and they've taken over Mannheim. And Martin Murray, desperate to take the world middleweight title home for them. Due to get married in the Caribbean on Tuesday, his fiancée Gemma is watching the event unfold on a cruise ship, waiting for him out there. And wouldn't it be a wonderful story if he could join her as a world champion? Ricky Hatton in the ring. Hatton, who says, Jim, that it will be like his performance against Kostya, underdog, but that he'll want it too much.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what is required. The trouble is Felix Sturm has not been out of the ring for 18 months the way Kostya was. Felix Sturm, there could be a backlash tonight. Felix Sturm took a lot of criticism last time out against Matthew Macklin. A lot of people over here thought Matthew Macklin won the fight. So there may be a backlash. We may see an even better Felix Sturm than we did that night. But I know we'll see everything that Martin Murray has tonight. He will pour it out.
Very close bond there between Oliver Harrison, Martin Murray's trainer, and Jamie's former trainer as well. He's got the game plan. Can Murray execute? Here comes the German hero.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way into the ring, the WBA Super World Middleweight Champion of the World, Felix the Fighter Sturm!
They're calling this the Ring of Fire as a promotion. Martin Murray patiently waits in the ring, just doing a bit of loosening up. He's become big news here, Sturm. Friends with Boris Becker, Henry Masker, Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel. All the big sportsmen. Firecracking entrance. Promotes his own shows now. The intelligent, articulate, excellent technical boxing operator. Here comes Felix Sturm, world-class, Jim, for years.
Yeah, and sometimes fighters at Felix Sturm's stage in their career, they start looking for ways to make fights that little bit easier. He's coming off a terrific war with Matthew Macklin. Will that have an effect on him? Will he be ready psychologically to go back into the trenches again? If Martin Murray can drag him into the trenches. He looked terrific on the scales yesterday. No signs that he struggled at the weight. He looked fit, healthy, full face and a good colour. I think he's at his best tonight. I think we'll see the best of him. Best of luck to Martin Murray, but I know he has a real job on his hands tonight.
The brilliant amateur who won 113 of 122 bouts. This now the 11th defence of his WBA crown. But at nearly 33, what is left in the Sturm tank?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of the British and German national anthems. Ladies and gentlemen, to those of you here in attendance and to those of you watching on TV, good evening and welcome to SAP-Arena in Mannheim, Deutschland. This is our featured bout of the evening, 12 scheduled rounds of action presented by Sturm Box-Promotions for the WBA Super World Middleweight Championship. Your WBA supervisor on hand at ringside is George Martinez. Also at ringside this evening is BDB President Thomas Putz. Your officials assigned to work this championship bout are from France, Jean-Francois Toupin, from Canada, Pasquale Proscopio, and from the United States of America, Ted Gimza. Your third man in the ring, in charge of the action, Hall of Fame referee from South Africa, Stanley Christodoulou. And now for the introduction of the principals. First, boxing out of the blue corner, dressed in the red and white trunks, he weighed in at 72.2 kilos and brings into the ring this evening a picture-perfect professional record. 23 wins, no losses, no draws, and 10 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is rated number 3 in the world by the WBA from St. Helens, England. Here is the challenger, Martin the Power Murray. And his opponent directly across the ring, boxing out of the red corner. He's dressed in the gray trunks with the red trim. He weighed in at 72.4 kilos and comes into the ring this evening with an outstanding professional record. 36 wins, only 2 losses, and 1 draw, with 15 of those big wins by way of knockout. He is the current reigning and defending WBA Super World Middleweight Champion of the World from Cologne in Deutschland. Here is Felix, the fighter, Sturm.
At yesterday's weigh-in, Martin Murray would not look Felix Sturm in the eyes. Will he now?
A good clean fight. Shake hands. Good luck to you both. Thank you.
Seems more focused.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for action?
Mixed fortunes for British fighters in Germany. Our own Johnny Nelson enjoyed his trip. So too did Glenn Catley with that dramatic win over Marcus Beyer, who's ringside tonight.
Round number 1.
Plenty like Mark Prince, Nicky Piper and Bruce Scott were stopped. How will Murray fare? So often about timing and levels this sport. Is it too soon or just right? Felix Sturm is quality, and he's been quality at world level for around 8 years. A 3-time world middleweight champion, making the 11th defense of his WBA crown. Only ever been beaten twice, once controversially by Oscar de la Hoya, and once when he was stopped in 10, unexpectedly, by Javier Castillejo.
A couple of poor performances if you look through Sturm's record, but it's noticeable when he has something to prove, when it's in return matches or he has, you know, a chip to get off his shoulder, he really performs to the best of his ability. I feel that may be the mood he's in tonight. He started quickly trying to get the jab moving, the jab that Matthew Macklin seemed to take away from him, but he's working that already.
Macklin pressured him so much in the first 4, 5, 6 rounds. And Sturm took ages to get going. A quicker start tonight from the champion, but Murray doesn't look phased, Jim.
No, he's coping with the situation well. He's probably fantasised this fight so often in his mind, so many different ways it will play out, so he has to be prepared. If he doesn't have as good a start as maybe he hoped he would have, he has the grit and the determination to get himself back into things. But this is a good positive start from him. I'd be happy.
Was the body shots round the side, that's what Macklin did. He said he won't fight the way that Matthew Macklin did. He'll do it differently. He'll be cuter. He'll use his boxing skills, but Sturm is so classy in that department.
A lot of punches blocked by either man in the opening session, but Sturm looks like a man on a mission. Martin Murray, very cool, keeping the jab moving, just trying to keep Sturm off balance, not allow him to set up any attacks to put the punches together. Good opening round, not much in it. Sturm a little bit busier, but not much in it.
Yeah, interesting one. Body shot from Sturm, as the speed might have the edge in that department, but Murray puts the combinations together.
Well, the Murray camp have kept things close to their chest, you can't blame them, so we don't know if he expects to outgame, out-tough or outbox Felix Sturm. Some of the things he's saying suggest that they plan they can outbox him. That surprised me. He's held his own in the opener, that's for sure.
Good jabs to head and body, just gets backed up on the ropes. Sturm very good at catching the eye of the judges late on in rounds. Right hand there might just have done enough, the champion in this opener. But it's not bad for Murray fans.
Well, Murray showed excellent composure in the opening round, not intimidating the slightest. He's not phased. This chance has come out of the blue, but the camp must be delighted the way he coped with the opening round.
Close to the camp, Jamie Moore. Are you impressed at what Murray's done in the first 3 minutes? Might not have won the round, but settled well.
I think so, yeah. I mean, the first round was always going to be tough to settle in straight away. But, you know, I think he did a good job. Initially, he took the centre of the ring, but Felix Sturm sort of used his experience to shift it around towards the end. It was a close round, but he's probably just nicked it Sturm, but Martin will be happy with that.
The grey and red of the 32-year-old champion in fight number 40, Felix Sturm from Cologne. And the red and white of Martin Murray, with Archie, his son, on the front, Amelia, his daughter, on the back. Good pressure there from Murray. The tactics seem to be attack at times, defend at others.
Well, I think the important thing, and what I'm liking about Murray, he's answering everything that Sturm comes up with. He's not, he's not blocking, you know, a burst of punches, then moving away. He's coming back with his own, so he's keeping everything tight. Keeping in mind over here, history reminds us that tight doesn't normally go your way. So, tough job and a tough place to get a decision.
There's only been 12 rounds on one occasion, Martin Murray, so he might be conserving energy, having watched what Macklin did, tiring in those sort of later rounds. Will he be too fresh and hungry for Sturm? That is a possibility. He's certainly coping okay at the moment, but Sturm has the centre of the ring.
Yeah, but so far, if you stepped into this arena and didn't know who you were watching, you couldn't pick which one was the world champion. It's difficult to split them. Martin Murray is doing every bit as good as the champion there.
Good body shot from Sturm. Both showing decent defence early on in this World Championship affair. Murray admitted on ringside a couple of weeks ago that he would have liked 3 or 4 more fights before this, but you've got to take your chances in this game, and it's come for him, and it's confident and composed so far.
Yeah, they've both been so good defensively in the first couple of rounds. Sturm may be throwing more right hands, more power shots. There he goes again with them.
Smile from Murray. Not a massive puncher, Sturm. 15 knockouts through his long career. Most has been on points or the late stoppages.
Sturm is maybe moving into range better with his own punches, which makes them look that little bit more impressive than Murray's. Murray's throwing his at arm's length. They're both blocking shots, but Sturm, the way he's stepping in, this is better from Murray, much better.
Really good, finding the body, accuracy and sharp after that 16-week training camp, Martin Murray. Sturm said everything's gone perfectly for him too. And they did look fabulous on the scales. Good fight, good start. A warm welcome back to the SAP-Arena here in Mannheim. Sturm might have squeezed the first two, Jim, but it's a decent one already.
Yeah, the main thing is, I think Murray was going to have to find his confidence. He believed in himself, but he's never boxed at this level. So 2 decent rounds where he's extended the world champion. He's done almost every bit as good as Sturm has done. His confidence will build now. Maybe now he can take more chances, impose himself a little bit more, because you don't win fights away from home at this pace.
Many felt that Matthew Macklin did enough against Felix Sturm, but he got the split decision win. He was angry with himself after that, as was his trainer Fritz Stunek. Read the riot act, and he wants to make amends tonight in front of the German crowd that love him. And it's easy to see why. He's a great example of a decent operator in the sport and out of the ring, Felix Sturm.
See, I think that the problem at the moment, Sturm's work, it's not really any better, but it looks a bit more impressive the way he's marching right in with the shots. Good stuff here from Murray. Just needs to step in with that jab. Try to knock Sturm onto his heels with it. That's it, move forward with it.
Battle of the jabs, Oliver Harrison clapping from the blue corner. Murray is getting the gloves up well. And trying his own body shots. Good left hook he possesses, Murray. Fight number 24 yet to lose. But as they were saying in studio, Darren Barker, that it's a massive jump from your Blackwells, your Nick Blackwells to your Felix Sturms. Enormous.
Well, he's doing well in this round, Murray. I mean, I will say this pace suits the man who has 14 championship fights under his belt, 14 12-rounders. I wondered that good stuff coming back from Sturm, but so far, decent from Murray.
He's finding those little body shots under the elbows. That's what Ricky Hatton's advice was. Try and screw a couple up through the middle. He's got a decent uppercut, Murray. Been boxing a long, long time. Sturm might have been the better amateur, the higher class pedigree. But Murray's showing plenty here.
This is good stuff from Murray. He's standing his ground. He's not quite stepping in with the shots, but he's setting himself and letting them go. This is good stuff.
Stanley Christodoulou, world-famous referee, just saying, keep them up a bit. Good right hand from Sturm. That was decent. Murray smiles. Good shot. And later on in the round, catching the eye. But I think Murray's had a decent third, Jim.
Yep, I've liked Murray in the third round so far, unless something really takes it away from him. Just has to keep his concentration, but putting the punches out nicely.
Swelling as well by the left eye of Felix Sturm. And I notice a problem with his right eye as well. Bumps and lumps. Murray on the rope. Sturm trying to drill right hands. Action heating up at the end of the third. Crowd enjoying it. Well, Martin Murray may well have pulled one back there in the third round. He'll be growing in confidence. Jamie Moore, early assessment?
All 3 rounds have been close for me. I think,
and then the little ones, you're not weakling.
He needs to listen to all of his instructions. Exactly like that. He seems very focused. But I think they're all close rounds. But Martin seems to be discouraging him a little bit there. You know, I always thought that Martin, at some point in the fight, would get to Sturm a little bit, where he's very stubborn and he's strong, and he's starting to land his shots downstairs and he's hurting him, and you could noticeably see Sturm's face change in that round. So this could be an interesting round.
Sturm was telling us at the weigh-in yesterday afternoon that he expected a charge from Murray in the first half of the fight and that he would take over in the middle rounds. Doesn't quite happen like that. Cat and mouse from Murray. It's clever. Decent uppercut there as well. Just trying to unsettle the long-time champion.
Yeah, well, it's nice to do the totally unexpected, and I think that's what Murray's doing. He has spoken about outboxing Sturm, which surprised me, but I mean, he's giving pretty much as good as he's getting in every one of these rounds.
Tit for tat there. Sturm delivered, Murray back. Accuracy. He is 29, but only a pro for 4 years.
As Ricky Hatton was saying, not many miles on the clock. Inexperience, yes, but self-belief and the confidence, Jim, will be growing round by round.
Yeah, and what he's done so far in this round, he hasn't allowed Sturm to set much up. He's boxing at a nice range, stepping in, stepping out, getting the punches off. So Sturm becoming a little bit frustrated at the moment, can't pin him down properly.
Again, backed up on those ropes, trying to drive forward, Sturm. Probably working much harder in the first part of the fight than he thought he would have to, and Murray just shoves him back. He's told off for that, but he weighed this morning 12.4. He's a really strong middleweight.
But you know, that's worth being told off for, just shoving the other guy right off. You show him the physical strength you have up close. That's worth a little warning from the referee. Don't do it too often. And this is another good round for Murray so far. He's picking them nicely, accurately.
Lovely right hand. Big outsider before the fight. Sturm 2-9. Money came in for Murray.
Murray dropping his hands there, which was surprising. Doesn't want to do too much of that.
Just sensible still from Martin Murray, who has had a couple of sleepy performances in his rise and has been floored a couple of times. Once in that terrific prize fighter final against Cello Renda. But 3 rounds of that at the York Hall and 12 of this against a seasoned world champion like chalk and cheese.
I think he's nullified a lot of Sturm's work in this round. I mean, Sturm looking frustrated. He's having to force the work. He's taking the smoothness away. He's blocking these shots. When Sturm blocks shots like that, we credit him, so we have to do the same when Murray does it. I think this is another decent round for Martin Murray.
Excellent defence too from Murray.
Well, I think Sturm was the one making the mistakes in the 4th round here. Signs of frustration, signs that this is a tougher job than they thought, signs that Martin Murray is a far better boxer technically than his camp expected.
Has had a long, hard career at middleweight, Felix Sturm, who turned back in January 2001, 20 victories, then he went to Vegas. That contentious result against Oscar de la Hoya. But at some point, the wheels are going to have to come off. Maybe not tonight, but Martin Murray could, just could, be in the right place at the right time. A long, long way to go, though. And Sturm could well be ahead on the 3 judges' cards.
Sturm doubling up on the jab now. I think he realises that the single shots were being countered, so he's doubling every jab. Standing his ground, weight on the toes.
I've noticed particularly, Jim, the use of the left hook from Martin Murray, and that's what Castillejo did to stop Sturm late on.
Yeah, but I think so far Murray's performance has been excellent. Different from what I expected, but a lot better than I expected.
There's the screw shot up the middle, a la Ricky Hatton. He's been listening, Martin Murray. Can he execute the tactics? It's busier from Sturm, and that lovely jab that was honed in the amateurs and that's given so many world-class opponents trouble.
Murray doesn't move after the jab, so I'm surprised that Sturm doesn't follow it with a simple straight right hand, because Murray just stands there. This is a good response from him there.
And digging the punches in, maybe the harder hitter in there, Martin Murray. Doesn't want to be on the end of that jab too much. This is good from Sturm, and Murray needs to respond.
He's pushing again. He's going to have to be careful. The referees had a quiet word there, but the last thing you want is points deducted. I think Sturm has moved into a higher gear in this round. His jab is really good, stepping in again behind it. Murray giving little smiles and stuff, but that's not what we need.
Excellent technical work this from the accomplished boxer Felix Sturm. Murray answering at times. It's a little bit more basic from the Englishman, but it's making for a really good spectacle, this, Jim.
See, this is smart from Sturm. He's not going at a crazy pace, but he's just working that little bit harder, and he's putting the power, pulled the oxygen in here as he backed off. But, I mean, he's put a fair bit of work into this. There's the push again from Murray, and the referee having a look at him.
Big breath there from Sturm, and as well, the left eye is worsening of the WBA champion. Martin Murray is having his turn for a response. Again, might not have won the round, Jim, but he's still there.
Just a little sign there for half a minute or so that Sturm was taking the fight away from him, but he's responded well. He's back again. He's allowed Sturm to have his burst, and he's coming back. I think it's a better round for Sturm, though.
Yep, did definitely up the gears there, Felix Sturm. Now we'll find out a lot about Martin Murray. Doesn't want to be dropping his hands like that, but maybe he wants to be drawing him in, Jamie Moore.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I always felt that Martin Murray, win or lose his fight, would give a good account of himself. And I think, you know, even after 5 rounds, he's done himself proud. But this fight ain't over. You know, for me, I couldn't split him in that round. I thought that, you know, every time Sturm opened up and let his shots go, Martin replied with something. So, you know, it was very difficult to split him. And it's going to turn into a very interesting fight in the second half.
Yeah, but I think that Sturm has been sent out to step on the pedal a little bit. They've realised they really have a challenger in with them tonight. They've picked this fellow out of the blue, but I think that they've picked more than they bargained for. Sturm corner, they don't look panicked in any way, because none of the rounds have been one-sided one way or the other. So they'll be quite happy boxing at home, maybe that Sturm is a little bit more ahead than we have him.
Into the 6th round. Only the 110th of Martin Murray's career, whereas Felix Sturm's almost had 300. 16 world title fights to 0. Big gulf in class, but it's not unfolded like that.
No, as I say, there's nothing glaring that tells you which one of these guys is the world champion and which one is just at the 23 fights. Just little bits of experience showing from Sturm, bringing the right hand into play.
Distance against Matthew Macklin, managed to stop Ronald Hearns, son of the legendary hitman, in Stuttgart in February in 7. Just caught Hearns and he fell apart. No signs of Murray folding. Not yet.
You know, you can count your thumbs the amount of real powerful shots that Murray has taken on the chin. And that's credit to his concentration, his boxing ability, his defence. And just the way he's adapted to this job, terrific.
Attempting to execute the game plan that will make him a world champion, but Sturm's so strong, so tough. And he's boxing much better than he did against Matthew Macklin, and I think we expected that.
Yeah, well, he's not under the same pressure. That's the one problem I have. I think this pace suits the champion with so many 12-rounders behind him. But when it's working as well, I mean, who would want to change what Murray's doing? Maybe just a little bit busier, take the initiative a little bit more. I think he was caught with a good shot there.
Yeah, it was a lovely right hand, but that wasn't a bad left hook from the fists of the St Helens middleweight, big rugby league fan, and loves watching fishing. Nice and relaxing. Not in there. And the end of that jab from Sturm.
Yeah, that was a triple jab from Sturm. I think he's come to realise single jabs have been countered, double jabs, triples, no.
Sturm's working hard. And he's working well. Murray not having a dip, but not having the same success. That was a bit low.
These are little kind of arm punches from Murray there. You know, he didn't get the shoulder or the hip into them. He's heavy-handed, but really wants to be turning with a punch the way Sturm is doing.
Tried the uppercut there. Sturm back to the jab, doubling up. Lovely to watch when he's boxing like this. Felix Sturm in a right hand. Murray brave, but hasn't had the same effect. And the rhythm in this, the 6th round.
Yeah, when rounds are as close as this, you have to take into account the quality. And I think maybe the quality with Sturm in that round.
Agree with you, Jim. Champion looked the champion there.
There's the double jab that's working for Sturm now. The single shots were being blocked and countered, but there, 1, 2, 3 jabs. That's impressive stuff. If there are any doubts in the judges' minds, that's what sways the round one way or the other. Just putting that little bit extra into what he's doing.
You not do it. Do it.
Have a drink,
no,
please.
Come on. Drink. It's not tomorrow, no matter. This is it. Well, come on then.
The Murray faithful. What would Oliver Harrison have been saying there, Jamie, in the corner?
I think what he's asking for is a little bit more work rate. As Jim was saying, you know, to come over to Germany and get a decision. If you are going to get a decision, you've got to really take the title. And those first 6 rounds, you know, they could have gone either way. But this is the stage of the fight now where Martin's got to pick the pace up. And if he's going to go on with that title, he needs to rip it off the champion. And he needs to win these last rounds.
The Brits have had tough fights abroad this year. Ryan Rhodes in Mexico with Sal Alvarez, Matthew Hatton as well. But we had great performances from Matthew Macklin and also from Darren Barker back home. You've got him a couple up, Sturm.
Got him a couple up just for the slightly better quality. I've liked the way he's stepping in with the shots, putting them together. There's not much in it, but I would more fear being over here that I'm giving Martin Murray a bit more credit than the officials were. I don't know. I mean, everything Sturm does is cheered. And we have 350 back there doing the best they can for Martin Murray. But that is a mismatch, the size of the crowd here. A good body shot from Sturm.
Lovely combination, very sharp there from Felix Sturm. 3 judges from America, Canada and France, all very experienced, and I think they will be favouring Sturm at the halfway mark. By how much, who knows? Murray's just got to grit his teeth and get on with it, and as Jamie, maybe Oliver was saying, work rate up it. Got to take the title out here.
I wouldn't want Murray to be reckless, but I'd like to see him come forward a little bit more. Not quite the way Macklin did, but come forward, try to get Sturm onto the back foot. I mean, Sturm can box, you know, going forward. This is good stuff from Murray. This really is good stuff. A little dip in the pace from Sturm.
Right hook and a left back. Sturm came. He's very clever in cameos, covering up and then stinging back. Felix Sturm. Notice that against Macklin at times.
Murray's outworking him here in some of these exchanges. I feel he has to stay in and have the last word in the exchanges. He hasn't done that often enough for my liking. See, this is impressive looking stuff. Partly blocked, but impressive looking stuff if you're a judge sitting at ringside.
This time Murray drew breath. Good uppercut. I'll tell you what, already it's been a fine performance from Martin Murray, like we saw with Darren Barker and Matthew Macklin. He will go back with his head high, whatever happens. Sturm puts the pressure on again. Same ropes, Murray off them.
The difference I see is that Sturm is able to bully Murray now and again. Murray never really able to do the same. Good response, good. And there's nothing in there, so this really is a difficult round to score here. But Sturm seems able to turn it on and use his physical strength and his experience. A good body shot again. I think that hurt Murray.
The edge of class in exchanges, Felix Sturm, but it's close at times. Fritz Sudik in the corner, 64 years of age. He's been with them a long time, since Mikael Tim. Good coach. And he's got a quality man to work with.
Yeah, well, that was a round where a lot of quality came from Sturm, but I was really impressed with the work rate of Murray. What troubles me is it looks once now and again that he's being bullied and he's not able to return the compliment. But I thought he did enough work in the first 2.5 minutes or so of that round. Work like this, just to nick the round. Good, you know, quality stuff from Sturm whenever he decides to switch it on. I don't know that he switched it on an awful lot in that round.
I've just been handed some interesting information at ringside. Our German television colleagues, Marcus Bayer, former world champion, is scoring, and he's got Murray up by a round. I think last time Axel Schultz had Macklin up about 5 rounds. Jamie, thoughts at this stage?
Again, you know, the close rounds, Sturm seems to be doing what he did against Macklin, where he finishes the round strong, or he fights in 10-second bursts, which catch the eye. So, you know, maybe he knows what he's doing. He's an experienced campaigner. He's trying to catch the judge's eyes. But for me, Martin Murray's outworking him in the last 2 or 3 rounds, but the eye-catching shots are coming from Sturm, so he's obviously trying to catch the judge's eye, but it's a very, very close fight.
Big jab from Sturm, his grey and red trunks, sweat stain now. Murray unloading the combinations at time, keeping a nice peekaboo style with the defence as well. As you said, not taking much on the chin cleanly, is he? And that was good from Murray.
Yeah, one of the few times that he caught Sturm clean on the chin. Not easy to do with that tight defence there. Sturm missing. The jab just breaking up the concentration of Felix Sturm.
Can he change gears, Martin Murray? Has he got enough know-how, knowledge? Or can Sturm box his way home, dropping his hands?
See, that doesn't impress judges, and that's better, springing into action again. But don't walk away with your hands down as though you're tiring.
Nice combination, body shots, and the St Helens fans behind us are on their feet. This is a really good effort from Martin Murray.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how easily Sturm is being hit now. Great stuff from Murray again, and he's putting them together, having the last word, as I hoped he would do.
Can Sturm fight 3 minutes of a round these days? Murray looking strong again. Sturm just shaken there for the first time in the fight in the 8th round. 45 seconds to go, and Murray says, come on, this is wonderful work from the Englishman.
No, I wondered if quit went through Felix Sturm's mind just then. He looked as if everything was taken away from him.
Shoves him back, told off by the referee. The fans won't mind that. They are rocking and rolling behind us because Martin Murray made a mini breakthrough there in the 8th round.
I think he put thoughts into Felix Sturm's head there, little signs that he didn't like what was going on here. Not a happy man in the slightest. Terrific round for Martin Murray.
Sturm back with the accurate jab. Becoming a fascinating fight this, out in Mannheim. All those naysayers for Martin Murray. Look at him now, stroll back to his corner with confidence and belief. Is that a big turning point, Jamie Moore?
That was a taxing round for both fighters, and now, from this point on, it's going to be about who wants it most, who's got the most stamina, and, you know, Felix Sturm looks very tired, but Martin Murray looks tired, but the difference is Felix Sturm's head's going down, whereas Martin Murray walked back to the corner, and he looked confident. So this could be a big, big round this next round. It could decide the fight.
Yeah, well, I saw little signs in Felix Sturm there that I looked for when I was boxing myself and thrived on it. Little signs that he didn't like what was going on. Tremendous round, I felt, for Martin Murray. No question in my mind who won that one.
Well, they're putting the ice on him, Felix Sturm. The long career. Will he glide home or be allowed to for the next 4 rounds, or can Murray pick up off that 8th? There's the fast start from Felix Sturm. Jim, you've got it dead level.
Yeah, well, that is one of the few rounds tonight where there's no question in my mind which way that should go. That was a tremendous round for Martin Murray, and it is the most important stage of the fight. This is where fights are won and lost. You know, 2/3 of the way through, you still have a long way to go, you're tiring. This is where character comes into it, the one who can dig in and just pump the punches out that little bit more. Sturm is trying to turn the tables here.
Opening minute of the round, absolutely, Felix Sturm. Getting back to work. Murray staying with him, but again drops his hands. Trying to invite the German into his close quarters. Who's the stronger man at this stage?
Well, Sturm still looks stronger because he's stepping in, pushing back. Now, this is good work from Sturm. See, that's the kind of work that impresses judges, not picking away and moving away. See, these were little arm punches coming back from Murray. But they're keeping Sturm occupied and not allowing him to get anything off. But then when Sturm does throw the shots, these are proper punches we're seeing here. That's better from Murray. Dig the punches in.
Lovely right hand, just lifted Sturm off his feet momentarily. That's the freshness that he has got, but he's never been in this deep before, Murray. We're learning so much about the man from St Helens, the 29-year-old, who is proving he belongs around world class whatever happens tonight with the result.
See, again, Sturm, look at the way he's digging those punches in. It is impressive, but Murray's work rate, he's certainly matching him for work rate.
Just a bit loose limb there, Martin Murray.
That's a sign of tiredness. He wants the blood back into the hands. Dangerous. Now, this is good stuff from Sturm. It's a pity. I would love to have seen Murray really build on that previous round. Another close round. Has he nicked it? Or is the impressive work of Sturm? Look at the jab. You can see the difference in the way he snaps the punches out.
Trying to fight back. Murray, dig in. Good uppercut from Sturm. Looking solid in this, the ninth, and he needed this. Mark of a champion. He's had a debt. But Murray, I tell you what, he is really fighting the fight of his life here. Right hook from Sturm. Murray just went backwards, and I think Sturm has pinched that. Nose in front to the WBA champion, probably now. Jamie, you were saying that that round was so crucial. Is that bad news for Murray fans?
It could be, you know. I mean, Felix Sturm, he's using his experience now. He's picking his punches at the right time. Martin is trying to outwork him, and he's doing the right thing as far as winning the fight is concerned. But at the same time, he's running low on gas now. The both of them are running low on gas, but Felix is picking his shots better at this moment in time. I think Martin Murray needs to try and get a second win and push on over these next 3 rounds.
Yeah, when you can't decide who's winning on volume of shots, you have to take in the quality, and I thought the quality was with Sturm in that round.
Oliver Harrison with a bit of advice. Sturm straight in to the middle of the ring to carry on from what was a good 9th round. 9 minutes left. WBA Middleweight Championship on the line. If you need the identification, the tattooed right arm and the red and white of Britain's Martin Murray, aiming to become the first 11 stone 6 world champion since Chris Pyatt back in 1993. And that was good again from Murray, taking the fight to Sturm, who has fallen apart at this stage before.
That was a terrific burst from Murray there. Now just keep your hands up, block what's coming back. That's what we want to see, little bursts of punches like that, impressive bursts.
That was blocked, that. So was that. It's good defense tonight. Trying to squeak one through the middle. Who's more tired? Who can dig that bit deeper?
Well, Sturm not able to put 2 impressive rounds together. It seems that's maybe taken something out of the tank. The Macklin fight as well, something out of the tank.
Good right hand
there, good shot
from Sturm. Murray almost respects that. And a jab as well from Sturm, just catching Murray with his hands down at times. The responses are okay, but Sturm, he's so rounded, isn't he, as a champion?
Well, I thought Murray won the first minute of this round with a work rate, good accuracy. Sturm coming back at him now, tightening things up.
Getting the gloves up, but Sturm just finding the punches, which look classier. That's better from Murray, though. Good left hook. Can he drive combinations together? And he may get a point deducted. He's been warned 3 or 4 times. Stanley Christodoulou, well-respected referee, lets it go on. Crowd are booing. You just feel, Jim, that Murray needs to just drive everything to Sturm for 30-40 seconds.
Yeah, the way that stubbornness comes into his boxing, he stands his ground and blazes and pushes him back. We need to see a little bit more of that. That's what the judges want to see. That's what we want to see. Good right hand from him. This is good stuff.
And a left hook. He'll be testing Sturm's resilience and resistance at nearly 33 after a long career. It happened for Ricky Hatton against Costas Hugh at the end of the 11th round. Now this is the last warning, or is it a point? No, it's the last warning.
Yeah, the crowd wonder something been thrown into the ring there.
It's a bag of some sort is in the ring. And it's going to be fished out. The fighters haven't seen it, neither's the referee. They carry on, don't need that at all. What a good round again, though. I couldn't split them, Jim.
I gave it to Murray. I thought the first half of the round and the last half minute or so. I think it took all he had to get himself back into that round, because Sturm did turn things against him. A terrific start to the round for Murray and a decent finish, but that was a tough round for both men. I have them level again. So will that be the round that decides the outcome? Who can just drag a little bit more out of himself over the last couple of rounds?
How fit, Jamie, is Martin Murray? Deep training camp for a long, long time. You know him, you've sparred with him.
He's in the best shape of his life, and obviously he's going to need to be. I mean, I have it 5 rounds apiece, and these 2 last rounds now are going to be vital. I mean, he still looks as fresh as he did at the beginning of the 6th or the 7th round. So he's definitely got it in the tank. Let's see what unfolds now, but it's going to be a cracking last 2 rounds.
Jamie's got it 5 apiece. Jim Watt has got it a level as well. I think Sturm's in front, but it's very close.
Well, this is where Sturm really showed the championship qualities against Macklin. So this is where Murray will have to meet him head on and impress the judges.
It's the 11th round when Darren Barker's brave challenge to Sergio Martinez ended. But he came out with such credit that night, as did Macklin against Sturm, and Murray will too. That's great for our middleweights, Jim.
Yeah, it's been a terrific performance. I expected him to put up a performance that would enhance his reputation, but I didn't think he'd be well in it at this stage of this fight. He shocked me, along with quite a few others.
And he's catching Sturm. Right hands. Here comes the combinations. Can he back him up enough and really pressurise Sturm, who's been in another hard, tough night's work? There's the quality, though.
Murray he needs to take the initiative here. He needs to go forward. I don't think he's got enough. A great
lovely shot, beautiful shot. I'll tell you what, he's been the power puncher in there, and he's going to go for it here. Time left in the round. Sturm tries to settle himself behind the jab. It's another wonderful battle. We've had plenty this year for you on Sky. And we're kicking December off with another cracker.
Well, Sturm getting close, but not getting the punches off very quickly. Here they come now.
Right hand again from Murray. He's answering it with the power punches.
Terrific stuff from Murray here. Really impressive. Murray's winning this round.
Then the jab as well, and the mouth open of Felix Sturm. It's good defense from Murray again.
He's turned him.
He's turned him well. The uppercut. Murray drops his hands. Must be feeling the pace. Credit to the training team of both fighters, who've whipped their men into top quality shape. Lovely right hand from Sturm. Another good session. Back comes Murray in the 11th, late on.
I think we've seen a tremendous effort from Martin Murray in this round. Digging the punches, pouring the punches out. Good defence. What a performance this has been.
He's matured round by round, Martin Murray, and he's put himself on the world map. Right hand from Sturm. Another close one. Maybe Murray nicked it. What an enthralling affair. Again, featuring this man, Felix Sturm. We like coming to Germany, don't we, Jim?
Oh, tremendous action, and this has been tremendous quality. There's hardly been a clinch all the way through. good, clean, quality boxing, quality punching, but I think Murray did the majority of the work in the 11th round there. Again, Sturm coming back with some decent work, but not enough of it to impress me, and every time Sturm did come back, Murray responded.
Martin Murray, who has only finished 12 rounds on one occasion, Felix Sturm on 14. And it is the man from St Helens who's finishing very strongly. Jim's got Murray up by a round. Jamie Moore's got Murray up. 1 or 2 at ringside. They got Sturm up by 1. It is so close. Might come down to this final round. Who knows how the judges have got it. What an effort, though, from Murray. And also what a performance from Sturm. I think Jamie, credit has also got to go to Oliver Harrison for this game plan.
Exactly. I mean, we said all along, Oliver is a great tactician. We knew he'd pick the perfect game plan. It's worked to a T. It was all about whether Martin Murray was good enough to carry it out, and he's carried it out to a T. I think, you know, dropping the hands and stuff and relaxing was all part of the game plan. He's carried it out all the way through, and if he wins this round, for me, he's won the world title.
Good jabs from Sturm. Crowd begin to lift their man, their hero. They enjoy the events here. That's good work. Murray back, though.
But Murray has to sustain that kind of action, Adam. Sustain it.
And that's maybe, when he watches the fight back, if he doesn't get it, where he'll be kicking himself. But I tell you what, it is mighty tight. And we could, just could, have a new world middleweight champion for Britain. Good uppercut from Sturm, and a right hand, finishing like a champion. Catching the judges, Murray, can he respond?
But Murray's the busier at the moment. Sturm looking for big shots as though he feels he needs a knockout. But he's not the one with the work rate, but with the quality.
There's that left hook that's worked well. The body shot sort of straight a bit low. And again, left hook round the side of the head. Terrific action as well, Jim. Another enjoyable fight to watch for the fans.
Oh, big right hand from Murray.
And again, left hook into the last minute. WBA Middleweight Championship. Few would have thought it would be this close. Has Murray done enough? Or will British hearts be broken?
Well, Adam, he's doing enough on my card unless some disaster strikes in the last half minute or so. Tough to split them in this round. Murray being the busier. Sturm again with the power shots.
Into the last 30 seconds. This is normally where Sturm gets busy, and he is. Murray saying, come on, but he's got to do more. And he is. Look at this. Phenomenal effort from Martin Murray as the clock ticks down. Felix Sturm, has he done enough to hold on to his title, especially in Germany? Oh, right hand! Oh, it nearly went down there, Murray! The bell goes and saves him. Might have stolen it in the last there. Felix Sturm, who's lifted aloft Oliver Harrison. So proud of his charge, as so he should be, and British boxing as well. The fans celebrate, they believe. Jim, do you?
I thought I have Murray 1 point up. I think Sturm balanced the round with the final burst late on. I thought he was losing the round up until the final half minute when he landed huge punches. Murray probably seconds away from finishing on the floor, which, what a disaster that would have been. But I have Martin Murray nicking him by 1 point, but there were so many close rounds. We're over here in Germany. We have to feel the worst, but he deserves to be the new champion.
What a 12-round fight. We've seen Felix Sturm impress us over the years, and he had to dig deep again to match Murray's work rate. But for a man with 23 fights, British and Commonwealth champion, never had that gut check before this. He never had 1 or 2 in world class before this opportunity, and he's performed like that.
It proved he is genuine world class. There were rounds where Sturm looked as though his punches had better quality, the way he was stepping in with the shots, using the hips and the shoulders. But for punches landed. It was so difficult to split them in so many rounds. There were rounds that Sturm definitely won, rounds that Martin Murray definitely won. It's the other tight rounds which the way will send this title one way or the other. But look at the way he's finishing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, just refused to be intimidated at any time by Felix Sturm's ability and his reputation. Tremendous final round, and then he just got caught with that shot which nearly turned the whole thing on its end to disaster. Weathered the storm, but thankfully that punch did not land half a minute earlier. But tremendous punches. That was the quality of Sturm all the way through that had you wondering, had Martin's volume won the rounds? I thought he was nicking them. We'll see what the judges feel about it. But there's no way he doesn't deserve the title, but no great surprise if, in such a close, tight, hard fight, Felix Sturm with home-term advantage hangs on to his title. But hang on to it will be what he has done by the skin of his teeth.
Martin Murray just walked over to us at ringside, looking pretty fresh, to be honest. Said, how have you got it? I'll tell you what, it's been an excellent experience. Sturm doesn't look too happy. Remember, he is at home, he is the star of the show. He did get it against Matthew Macklin. Whatever, however you look at it, Adam, it was close.
Both camps know this fight is in the balance. No one has taken anything for granted. Sturm is not around waving at the crowd. No one is taking this for granted. This is a fight that can go either way. It's down to the judges, but what a tremendous 12-rounder we've been treated with tonight. Tremendous. But look at the quality in some of Felix Sturm's work. That was the difference in some of the rounds. Murray matched him for work rate, volume for most of the way round. Didn't match him for quality in all of the rounds. Hopefully that will not turn against him.
Three judges: Ted Gimser from America, Pascali Procopio from Canada, Jean-Francois Toupin from France. It's in their hands. And a decision is imminent. Anticipation tingling around us at ringside. Which way will it go?
Ladies and gentlemen, before I announce the judges' decisions, how about a big round of applause for these two warriors?
Spot on there.
Here in Mannheim, after 12 championship rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Francois Toupin scores this bout 116 to 112 for Sturm.
Cheers from the German, Sturm by 4.
Judge Ted Gimser scores this bout 115 to 113 for Murray.
2 to Murray. Will it mirror the Macklin result? Or will Britain be happy tonight?
And Judge Pasquale Procopio scores this bout 114 to 114. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is a draw.
Felix Sturm retains his world middleweight title just. It's the second draw of his career. Martin Murray retains his unbeaten record. Deservedly so. Jim Watt.
Well, what can we say, Adam? Bad taste in Germany. You're expecting a bad decision. OK, we can have draws, we accept it, it's fair enough. But when you come to a place where you're expecting something to go wrong, something distasteful to happen, and it's a draw, and you get this, I'm so upset. No way could you have Felix Sturm 4 points up. But I just feel sick, and I feel sick for Martin Murray.
Lifted aloft, Ricky Hatton gutted. Martin Murray did everything he could, and he came of age, and he was brilliant. But Felix Sturm is still the champion. He offered Matthew Macklin a rematch. Macklin went another route. Let's hope he offers Martin Murray a rematch, because my gut feeling is Murray will take it like a flash, Jamie Moore.
I think so. I think he deserved that. I had Martin up 2 rounds. I mean, you know, a draw in Germany, I think it says you've won the fight. So, I mean, he can hold his head up high, but he'll be absolutely devastated. You know, he's worked so hard for this all his life, and then come to the biggest night of his life and he gets a draw.
Thank you, guys. Great fight, great work, effort, and achievement from Martin Murray, but a draw. Gutting for Britain. Felix Sturm still champion. Let's have a rematch.
I'm sure that's what the guys in the studio will think. In just a couple of moments' time, we'll get reaction from Darren Barker and from Johnny Nelson. A brilliant display from Martin Murray, but it's not quite enough as Felix Sturm holds on to his title, but only just. The action comes thick and fast in the festive period. Join us tomorrow night in Wigan for a Northwest derby. Prince Aaron defends his British light middleweight crown against Brian the Lion Rose. That's at 8 o'clock on Sky Sports HD1. Martin Murray shows he can mix it with boxing's big boys. Mashing Felix Sturm, a hard-fought draw. Controversial on the scorecards, but Murray has done himself proud. Almost getting a share of the spoils. Felix Sturm, though, holds on to his title. It really was a brave, brave performance, wasn't it?
It was a great fight. You know, really enjoyed that. And I must say, rivalries aside, you know, very proud of Martin. You know, he'd done the country proud and he'd done himself, certainly done himself proud. We said it was a huge step up in class. It didn't look like that, did it, at all, Johnny?
Not at all. You'd think somebody of Martin's experience would be really intimidated about going over in Germany. But you know what? Mentally, physically, he prepared right, and he was confident about how he went about the fight, and basically turned it around and made Felix Sturm work himself out and then try and steal the rounds from him.
Let's take you through the action then. Starting round one, pretty even the first 4 rounds, weren't they?
They were, yeah, and I think... you know, there wasn't much in them at all, but it was Sturm's sort of, you know, a bit of quality there. We're just licking them for me, you know, very tight first round.
Showed he wasn't overawed.
Not at all. He, you know, like, you know, Jim and Adam were saying, he deserves to be in that class, definitely. And, look, you know, he was fantastic work rate there. You know, he was definitely in there, for, you know, landing as many punches as Sturm was.
Sturm was trying to bully the rounds initially, and that's why he came out so like a bull. You know, nice stiff jabs, trying to walk him back, push him back. But Murray was smart enough to not be flustered by it at all, kept his hands high, and every attack that Sturm threw on him, he'd come up with 2, 3, 4 shots, varied it from head to body. And that kind of shocked Sturm because he didn't intimidate him at all. And so Murray stuck to his game plan.
Yeah, and also what Sturm was doing so good early on was using the jab. He was doubling and trebling up with it. And he stopped doing that later on in the fight, you know, and he allowed Martin to get into the fight.
In the middle rounds, Sturm imposed himself a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, because he was trying to... I think he thought to himself, at this point, he'd be able to break Martin Murray if he started to put the pressure on him. And yeah, as Darren said, he started to use the jab and slowly but surely started to neglect it after this point. And what happens with a lot of fighters, if they don't see a physical effect, then they forget about it and try something else and start to go for the power shots. So all the time, at this point, midway through the round, this is where Sturm thought he would take over and break Martin Murray's heart, his will, his desire. But it didn't work.
I think up until there, the 7th round, we see it was all going to plan. It was until the 8th round.
Well, let's show you the 8th round, because that was a blinder, wasn't it, for Murray?
He hurt Sturm. He definitely hurt Sturm there, and you know, he worked hard in the round, and you know, it was like Jamie said there. It was the round after this that was really going to determine the fight, I think. And you know, he did kind of let Sturm back in it, I think.
And the other thing is, it's about kidology. Murray stood in front of him with his arms down, dropping the heavy shots in, talking to him through. And Sturm's thinking, this is my patch. You know, you're doing this to me on my patch. So all of a sudden, he's now thinking about himself instead of thinking about Martin. Murray's thinking, this kid has got a lot more to come. So all of a sudden, he's now on the back foot. He's not trying to be the aggressor. He's not trying to be the bully.
And another thing, why that round was so good, when he attacked, he went in 3 stages. He didn't, in some of the other rounds, he was attacking once and then sort of backing off and taking some of the gloves. There, he attacked, took a couple, attacked, took a couple and attacked again. And, you know, he had a fantastic round there. It was a shame he couldn't follow it up
Well, the last couple of rounds, it was a sort of toss of a coin, decide what you like, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but this is where Martin Murray showed a bit of variety to his game, to something we'd never seen. We thought he was one-dimensional, he'd not shown much, but basically, you put something or someone in front of him, and he'll change it up, like he did do. I just think this stage of the fight, this is where the experience of Sturm came through, and that's where Murray was found wanting. He was getting clipped, he was getting caught, he was starting to run out of energy towards the back of the fight, and Sturm knew how to time the rounds. So the last 30 seconds, he put the pressure on. The last round put even more pressure on. They call it the Hollywood in Germany, because you look the part and they'll give you the decision. You know, Sturm left it tight again, and his days are numbered. Yeah,
and I mean, it was lucky that shot didn't land any earlier in that round. That was a massive right hand, and hat off to Murray, took it well, and you know, I've mixed emotions at the minute. I'm very proud of him, and slightly gutted he didn't get it, but, you know, what a great performance.
Well, have a look at the judges' scorecards. Jean-Francois Toupin, 116, 112.
I don't get that. I don't get that at all, and that's where, you know, you pull that judge and say, what were you looking at? Yeah. Tell us what rounds. You know, you've got there's a 4-point margin there where the others have got it 1 point and even.
Well, does that leave a bad taste in the mouth?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Listen, you're in Germany, so you don't expect any favours. Martin Murray, if they were right, Martin Murray, you'd give it him by 1 point, by 1 round, at least.
If I'd be honest, I look at my scorecard, I just had Sturm nicking it. It was just in the middle rounds, you know, up until the 8th, where I thought the little quality come out there from Sturm. You know, he showed his experience and the bit of class there, and, you know, I had him just nicking it.
But terrific, terrific entertainment.
Out of this world. He can go on his honeymoon now and really enjoy himself and enjoy Christmas as well.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Team Murray now, talking to Adam Smith.
Well, after one of the most incredible British performances in any ring in 2011, Martin, put that into words. Firstly, gutted you didn't get the decision?
Yeah, first of all, Adam, can I just thank my team, the trainer of Oliver Addison. He's been there from day one. Neil Marsh, my supporters, my team, and also Ricky and Richard Poxon for getting me the fight sorted. The performance, we thought we won, but you know, you're in Germany and did it do enough to rip it from him in his own backyard? You know what I mean? We'll have to go back through the fight and watch it on tape, but you know, we're happy with it. We're gutted we didn't get the win, but there you go. You know, it was expected in Germany.
You'd only had 23 fights over 4 professional years. It was a huge leap up in class, but you look world-class tonight.
We've always known we've been world-class, Adam, and we just needed that chance. You know, since day one I've started sparring the likes of Jamie Moore, you know, and he's helped me a lot, Jamie. And sparring with him, you know, learning a lot of him, and he was world-class, and we just needed that chance to show it, and we've shown it today. You know, we took a major step up in class, but we've shown that, you know, we belong on that level.
If there's anything that you'll take from looking back at the tapes you might be kicking yourself for, what would it be? Would it be maybe not sustaining combinations at times?
Yeah, well, I was saying to Oliver then, you know, it took us a couple of rounds to get into it and get things flowing, but it's just one of them. You never know how you're going to feel on the day, you know what I mean? And we eventually warmed into it, and you know, I went 12 rounds with a good a world champion, a good world-class fighter. So
you didn't just go 12 rounds, you gave him a real trouble for 12 rounds.
There you go, mate. I could feel him going, you know, and a couple of more rounds. I know it's only 12 rounds, but a couple more I've had him. I was completely comfy up there.
The tactical genius of Oliver Harrison, what a game plan, and he executed it pretty much to perfection, didn't he?
Yeah, very proud of Martin. I think Martin stuck to the game plan all the way through. I just think that the first 3 rounds, if he would have just stepped it up just a little bit more in those first 3 rounds, I think we could have definitely had this world title today.
Promoter Ricky Hatton, so very, very close. You must be so very proud.
Very, very proud of him. I mean, I always said, you know, from day one he was world class, and you know, and it's a fantastic achievement for fighting for the world title. But when you think at the speed that Martin has done it in, to fight for the world title, you know, 20+ fights, is a credit to him and a credit to his team, Oliver. They absolutely belong at world class. Personally, you know, I thought he won it. I thought Jim Watt had it spot on, 1 round, but we are in Germany, you know, so, you know, but we'll be back. The Martin Murray story is not finished there. We won't start until we get one of them belts, no problem.
Obviously, you want a rematch. You've got rather an important date first over in the Caribbean. On Tuesday, you get married, and you can hold your head right up high, can't you?
That's right, Adam. You know, I'm still not getting married, a defeated man, and she must have just landed now, Gem, and my missus, so I hope she got to watch it, and I'll be seeing you in a few days, Gem, so you big kids, love you, see you soon.
enjoy your big day, and this was your big boxing night, and you did us all proud. Well done.
Thanks a lot, mate. Nice job.
It really, really did us all proud, didn't it? The wedding photo is going to be interesting.
Yeah. That was a very fair assessment from both of them, you know what I mean? Very honest there. And
no bitterness, which was nice to see.
No, not at all. You know, he knew he was up against being out there, and yeah, like I say, very fair assessment. And you know, I'm gutted. I'm really gutted for him. You know, and it just shows the strength of the middleweight division in our country. You know, with myself, Matthew, and Martin. You know, it's 3 very good fighters there. And
all had pretty similar experiences. Done yourself proud?
Yeah. I just didn't go the distance. But, you know, no, good depth in the division, and you know, I hope he goes and enjoys his wedding and his break.
It's a lovely story, isn't it? He goes off and gets married now in the Caribbean on Tuesday, and he can look back and did himself proud.
He was very matter of fact about it as well. He's, you know, I read that he was more scared of jumping on the flight to the Caribbean than this fight here. So you know what, good on him. You know, he's done himself proud.
We'll talk about the future for him a little bit later on. Next Saturday, bumper night of boxing, headed by the return to Sky Sports of one of boxing's biggest stars. Will Amir Khan be dishing out capital punishment in Washington, DC?